Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Manga Weekly, the series where every week I talk about manga and manhwa I've been reading. Alright, as you can see on the screen, this week I'm covering something that I just discovered and I immediately couldn't really put it down. It's called Teto X Agent. I know you can see the name of there was this, but that's the name of it was this the manhwa itself, Teto X Agent, and I read every available chapter in one sitting. There's about 14 chapters out right now. I just while I was about to make this video, I saw the 15th chapter was posted, so I'm probably gonna read that after this video is done. And that kind of should tell you that everything you kind of need to know about it. It's really good. I enjoyed it very much. So let's talk about it and let's get into it. All right, this is like a sidetrack before we actually get into there was this the story itself. Now there's some um before we kind of get into the story, the title kind of needs some context because it comes straight from Korean internet slang, not slang. Anyway, Teto is described as someone who's bold, outgoing, assertive, traditionally dominant energy type of thing. And then Egen is described as someone who's gentle, reserved, emotionally soft, and kind of considerate about others and what people think about him. The title itself is essentially telling you upfront exactly what kind of dynamic you are signing up, you're expecting a tattoo and agent type of dynamic, and the show kind of delivers on that promise completely. it I okay, I didn't know what tattoo and agent was actually, so I had to go with. Don't think I'm smart. I'm a little dumbass. I just had to it took a Google search to actually understand that. Anyway, now that we've covered the main things, let's get into what's good about the story. I want um I probably won't do read a chapter read through. I'll just talk about essential things, who's our main characters, everything like that. Yeah. All right. Let's begin with our first main heroine. Not our first main heroine because there's only one heroine, but let's just begin with the heroine. Her name is Haesun. She's Haesun is she is the tattoo pair of the whole thing. Like I said, this is a tattoo and agent. She is the tattoo and our main boy is the agent. Anyway, she's ambitious, confident, and energetic, and completely unafraid to take charge of the situation. Work is her biggest priority, and she throws herself into every project with really full intensity. The point where most people who her co-workers who work with her kind of don't want, they would like her, but they don't want to work with her because she thinks she's too straight. I wouldn't say straightforward. She's how do I explain this? She's um back in high school, there's that one person who's the teacher's pet who asks if there's homework when you don't want homework. She's kind of like that way. She takes on more projects because she's going head into projects, but you don't want to do that because you want to chill out, and she doesn't want to. So she's you know that's how she is. Oh yeah, she's also Siono's senior at the company, which kind of adds an interesting dynamic to their relationship. And for those wondering who's Siono, sorry, quick technical difficulties. Anyway, Sono is our main guy. By main guy, he is the main character, and Sono is the agent. He wouldn't he wouldn't be more different from Hesiod. He's quite introverted and he's happiest at home with his cat, which is a cute cat and dog. I saw the cat. The first thing when I saw the cat was I want a cat like that. It's a very cute cat. Anyway, he really avoids unnecessary socializing, dislikes being the center of attention, and he kind of prefers a calm, predictable routine. Everything remotely existing. He has his routine. He works, goes home, plays with his cat. That's his daily routine itself. He's not cold. He just expresses kindness in a quiet and understanding way, where he can't say no, but you know, his his kindness is like, like it's he's shy, but like he does put himself out there. These two kind of barely is another statement. They don't even interact at school. Their lives exist like in completely separate lines. But everything kind of changes until like they get assigned to like the same task force project. And I feel like the reason they were assigned to the same task project is because Hasten, wanted that. And like I don't want to. Well, this is a manga, a manhwa review, so of course they're bound to be spoilers. But she she's kind of. I feel like like I feel like she likes him, but like she's not saying it. Like I don't know how to explain. Anyway, let's talk about this. Like on the surface, Tattoo X Egen kind of sounds like another office romance. What makes it stand out from like from other like office manga manhwa, and like I feel like the big difference that makes it stand out is that the conflict isn't like built on like misunderstandings. It's built like on a bit like on a genuine personality differences. Like the story isn't asking like will they confess, we know they will, but like it's asking something more interesting, like can two people who approach life completely different actually lean to understand each other. Like I said, she is a tattoo, he is an agent. She is a workaholic, he takes like the easy way out. The, their personalities could never be more different, but we wanna know, will it work out in the long run? Will they actually? We know they will, but like, will it be a happy conclusion? Will her personality rub off him, or will his personality rub off her? Who really knows? Like I said, Hessen leaves to work. Sion, Senho, I think that's how you say it. I don't know. Like in manhwas, I know the girls' names, the guys' names just don't come hard. Anyway, Senho works so he can like enjoy like his life, his personal life. But watching the two of them slowly influence each other's perspective is one of the most satisfying ways, of like the early chapters. We're still in the early chapters. I don't know I'm calling the early chapters, but it's still satisfying. Having the character interaction about them, some slice of life moments are always the perfect. They're just really fun. Whew. Okay, one thing I noticed immediately, like once I was like reading the story, is that I want to give credit where credit is due to Hassan. Like Hassan isn't like passive. She makes her first move. She is actively tries to like get closer to Sion rather than waiting around for like hoping for him to like actually notice her or make the first moves. Because this is chapter 3 right here. This is like the end parts of chapter 3. I'm going through like the chapters to show you some different images. No, this is chapter 3. Like I said, they were assigned to the same task force, but like she makes an effort to like push her desk close to him so like she can be closer to him. Like I said, she's not really passive because in most office rom-com animes, it's like the male boss, where everything's just it's how do I explain it? It's like the male boss, the female coworker. It's hectic, but like this one is like really different. Anyway, aside from that, I really do like how passive she is. It's really a breath of fresh air because, like I said, Sion is he's like what's this? He's an introvert. So if we let him go at his pace, I feel like the story wouldn't. At, the romance in the story wouldn't actually develop because he wouldn't make the first move because he I wouldn't say he thinks low of himself, but like he has a somewhat low self-esteem where I doubt he can imagine himself with Hesiod. But like I love, like I said, she's making progress. She's asking him out like events, not events, like on weekends. In I forget, was it chapter 6 or chapter 7? But like, eh, not. But she kind of asks him like out. She kind of uses drawing as like an excuse because Sion is in the drawing department, so she kind of uses drawing as an excuse for them to meet up on the weekend, just have like a date without saying it's a date. She's really proactive. And with her, she's no more passive. Oh, sorry. with her aggressiveness, we kind of see Shion slowly but genuinely kind of start opening up because she kind of refuses to let him stay permanently inside his like comfort zone, and that balance kind of gives the romance real momentum. Like neither of them is just reacting; like both of them are moving and in just in completely different ways. Like what's this? Hesion is taking it fast, while what's this? Sion is trying to like take it slow. Different paths. Just okay. Just look at the wording. Like I want to move next week. Like she, she, she's honestly my favorite character in like the whole romance. We haven't really met that many characters since the whole story is centered around these two characters. So there's not really any need to like introduce more and more characters because when I was reading the manhwa, I didn't even want more characters because the romance between the two of them is enough to satisfy me. Anyway, let's talk about another thing that the manhwa kind of does good. The art style is polished and expressive in like a way that I mean that kind of puts it like on like level of like other popular romance, like what's this manhwa. And I don't it's not like I don't like romance manhwas. It's just most romance manhwas that I read basically it's not that the romance and manhwas I read anything but I just read like villainous romance manhwas. That's my for like for romance manhwas, that's like my comfort zone. But here and there I do like to change things up and like read this type of manhwa like Tattoo X Agent. It's really good. And when I was reading it, like the art style, it looks really good. Like if you compare it to like other popular romance manhwas, let me just give you an example. Okay, I just Google searched like popular manhwas, but like if you look at like the art styles in these manhwas, and then you look at the art style in Teto and X Agent, it's really good. I don't know who's like the artist behind this, but they have a real knack for art. Like the characters are like every panel, every character is just really expressive. He's always dooming and gloomy, but everything about it is really really good. And Heseon is my favorite character. She's only my favorite character. Like I don't know, like she has that cutesy vibe. I'm a person, I like outgoing people, so like I'm a, I would I would say if I had to rate myself on this world's power system, I think I'm an agent. Yeah, I think I'm an agent because I'm not that introverted, but like I like keeping to myself more, and I don't really like talking much. I avoid like work a lot. If I'm doing something, I'll do minimalistic. I don't want to do work that kind of exhausts me. So I am like a Teto, oh no, an agent who is attracted to like a Teto because I like people who are like really bold, who are outgoing and assertive. People like can show me like different things in life. People can just get me excited for like for anything that's happening in life. So in this world, I am an agent. Oh yeah, I should probably show you the different types of like things in here. Okay, now let's look at this. There's a man who's what? Okay, sorry. If this is a tattoo, this is an agent. Okay, it's like this. This guy is attracted to this type of person, but this girl is attracted. This is a man. This girl is attracted to like this guy. It's a man. It's a man for this girl. This guy is attracted like this person, but a tattoo guy is attracted to an Asian girl. It's a very complicated power system. I don't even know how I'm calling the power system, but like this board was explaining what the tattoo and agent is. But since our main character is what's this an agent, he kind of likes tattoo girls, but a tattoo girl doesn't really like an Asian boy. So with that premise in mind, that kind of makes the guy like less open to like the relate the advances that was this is making to him. Was this Hessen is making to him. All right, after some blabbering, some talking, and some sidetracks, let's let me say my final thoughts on like the story itself. Okay, I've read every chapter currently available, and I'm I was waiting for like the next chapter to actually come out, but since it's already out, I'm planning to actually read it because, like I said, the manhwa, the story is really that good. Like for a manhwa, I started like yesterday. That's about like the highest. This is like the highest endorsement I can give it because there's certain manhwas you can pick up like you can pick up a manhwa today and probably read it like 2 to 3 weeks later because you picked it up, you didn't like it, and then you're checking it out again. But like there's a difference between this. I picked it up. I first saw it on like Twitter, but I didn't check it. But like once I've read like the first chapter, I was glued, just reading chapter after chapter, chapter after chapter. And when I reached the 14th chapter, I was like, okay, is this all? And now the 15th chapter is out, you know. Anyway, Teto and Egen is a workplace romance that earns its emotional moments through like character chemistry rather than, manufactured drama. It's not I hate drama rom-com, but like there's certain dramas in a rom-com in romance that you don't understand. You just know that drama is forced or anything. Anyway, Hassan and what's this? Hassan and Sion work as appearing because the story respects both of their personalities instead of asking either of them to completely change for the other. The comedy really lands, like it's not comedy heavy, but like there's certain parts where the comedy is, it really lands. Like the warmth is genuinely there, and the premise like has really plenty of room to actually grow. The title, like this is the first because this is the first time I'm even knowing what a title on an agent is. Anyway, how would I rate if I had to give this manual a score of 1 out of 10? I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. It like the story, it has a strong story, excellent artwork, and the character interactions feel natural from like every chapter. I really do highly recommend it. I wouldn't give it a much higher score, not because I'm a very biased person. I could give it a 10 out of 10 and not and look the other way. But like since not many chapters are actually out there, I want to read it fully and get like my final opinion. I wouldn't. The next time when I probably talk about it, I think more chapters will be out, and that will be a very long time until I talk about it next. Anyway, you should drop your manga and manga recommendation in the comments. I'm always looking for like the next big thing, not the next big thing, just if like I don't care if it's action, romance, and anything is fine with me. I'm an open book. I read all. I read all. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I'm Hunter, and I'll see you next Monday.